Welcome back again, Gooners. Arsenal have arrived at the Emirates Stadium ahead of tonight's high-profile Premier League clash against Liverpool, with preparations already well underway for the early evening kickoff under the lights in North London. The Gunners were seen arriving early at the stadium as Mikel Arteta and his squad focused on final matchday routines, tactical briefings, and recovery work. With a packed Emirates expected well before kickoff, the mood around the club has been described as confident, focused, and highly motivated ahead of one of the biggest games of the season. Speaking in his pre-match press conference at the Soba Realty Training Centre on Tuesday, Arteta admitted there is a strong sense of excitement around the training ground. The Arsenal boss highlighted the importance of the occasion, describing it as a massive test against the reigning Premier League champions. He emphasised that the players are eager to prove themselves, especially with the backing of a loud home crowd expected to create a special atmosphere long before the match begins. Arteta also provided a clear update on team news ahead of the Liverpool clash. Defenders Riccardo Calafiori and Mosquera will miss the game, as both players are still unavailable. However, the manager offered a positive outlook, revealing that they are now in the final stage of their rehabilitation and could return to action very soon if progress continues as expected. There was also encouraging news regarding Kai Havertz. Arteta confirmed that the German midfielder is being carefully managed after a lengthy absence for two separate reasons. Havertz trained again on Tuesday morning and is edging closer to full fitness, with the Arsenal boss hopeful of having him available soon in what he described as the best version of the player. In addition to discussing his own squad, Arteta was asked about the recent sacking of Ruben Amorim. The Arsenal manager expressed sympathy for his fellow coach, describing it as always difficult to see a colleague lose their job. Arteta pointed out the harsh realities of modern football, stressing that managers need strong backing from owners, staff, and players, but ultimately results decide everything. As Arsenal get set for a crucial night at the Emirates, the focus now turns to delivering a big performance on the pitch. With early arrival, detailed preparation, and a fired-up home crowd, the Gunners will be hoping to make a strong statement against Liverpool and continue their push at the top end of the Premier League table. On the other hand, as they put the finishing touches on preparations for Thursday night's Premier League showdown against Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium, this session marked the last opportunity for Mikel Arteta to fine-tune his plans, following the Gunners' impressive 3-2 comeback win away at Bournemouth last Saturday, a result that pushed Arsenal 6 points clear at the top of the table. At the Soba Realty Training Centre, the intensity was high from the first whistle. The session focused on tactical shape, pressing drills and quick passing movements, with Arteta keeping a close eye on every detail ahead of the crucial clash. Declan Rice once again trained fully and looked sharp throughout. After scoring twice against Bournemouth, the midfielder showed no signs of fatigue, dominating midfield drills, breaking up play, and driving the team forward during small-sided games. Gabriel Magalhaes, fresh from his goal at the weekend, was heavily involved in defensive work. The Brazilian led the back line during positioning drills, working on aerial duels and set-piece organisation, a key area ahead of facing Liverpool. In attack, Arsenal's forwards were pushed hard in finishing drills, with quick combinations, sharp movement inside the box, and one-touch shots. The energy and focus suggested a squad fully locked in for tomorrow night. Following the session, attention turned to the latest injury updates ahead of the match. Kai Havertz missed the Bournemouth game as a precaution to manage his workload after returning from a long-term injury. The German is expected to be available for selection against Liverpool. There is still uncertainty around Riccardo Calafiori, who suffered an awkward injury during the warm-up before the Brighton match. Mikel Arteta described the incident as something very awkward, and the defender remains sidelined with no confirmed return date. Max Daumann will miss the Liverpool clash after picking up an injury last weekend. Arteta confirmed that scans showed the midfielder will be out for several weeks, with a return likely in February. Meanwhile, Christian Mosquera also remains unavailable. Arteta has confirmed that both Mosquera and Calafiori are still out, and neither featured in the final training session. With preparations complete and focus fully on the task ahead, Arsenal now turn their attention to tomorrow night's massive test against Liverpool. Everything is set. The work on the training ground is done. Now it's time for the Gunners to deliver at the Emirates. Let's continue to previous transfer updates. Arsenal head into the January transfer window with real confidence as they push for the Premier League title. Mikel Arteta's side sits 6 points clear at the top of the table, and their strong position reflects how consistent and balanced the squad has been so far this season. The Gunners know, however, that the second half of the campaign can be decisive, and smart decisions in January could make all the difference. That lead at the summit grew over the weekend, thanks to a dramatic 3-2 win away at Bournemouth. Declan Rice was the hero once again, scoring twice to secure all 3 points for Arsenal. Elsewhere, Chelsea's Enzo Fernandez struck late at the Etihad to earn a draw against Manchester City, a result that further helped Arteta's men pull clear. Attention now turns to a huge midweek clash, with Arsenal set to host Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium, just a day after City welcome Brighton. After those games, there will be a short break from league football, but the overall schedule remains intense. With fixtures coming thick and fast, squad depth becomes even more important. Injuries can quickly change the title picture, and every top club is aware of that risk. Manchester City, in particular, are already feeling the pressure after defensive problems, which could indirectly benefit Arsenal. One major boost for Arsenal comes from developments around Marc Guehi. Manchester City have reportedly been exploring a January move for the Crystal Palace captain, following a serious injury to Josko Gvardiol. However, Palace manager Oliver Glasner has made it clear he wants to keep Guehi until the end of the season. With City also dealing with a possible injury to Ruben Dias, any failure to strengthen their defence this month would leave them short at the back, and that is good news for Arsenal's title hopes. On the Arsenal side, transfer links continue to appear. The Gunners are said to be closely monitoring AC Milan defender Davide Bartasaghi. The 20-year-old has impressed with his versatility, playing mainly as a left wing-back, but also showing he can operate on the left of a back three. While clubs like Manchester City and Real Madrid are also interested, Milan are pushing hard to tie him down to a new long-term deal, with reports suggesting they would only sell for around €45 million. At the same time, Arsenal are well covered in most positions, which means any new arrival could depend on players leaving first. Young talents Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly have both attracted interest due to their limited minutes this season. Decisions around their futures could open space for fresh additions, either now or later. Looking ahead, Arsenal continue to be linked with big names such as Rodrigo and Arda Guler from Real Madrid, following interest shown in the past. There is also a clear focus on the future, with sporting director Andrea Berta already working on academy signings to strengthen the club long-term. For now, Arsenal fans will hope January brings smart moves, minimal disruption, and a squad ready to finish the job and lift the Premier League trophy. On the other side, Arsenal are reportedly preparing an ambitious move in the January transfer window, with Spanish outlet Fichajes claiming that the Gunners are ready to submit a formal offer for Real Madrid starlet Arda Guler. Mikel Arteta's side have enjoyed a brilliant first half of the Premier League season and currently sit 4 points clear of Manchester City at the top of the table, following City's draw away at Sunderland on New Year's Day. With the title race intensifying, Arsenal are believed to be exploring ways to further strengthen their squad during the winter window. According to the report, Arsenal are willing to test Real Madrid's resolve by proposing a loan deal with an obligation to buy, valued at around £69.6 million at the end of the season. The North London club see Guler as a player who could add both creativity and depth across multiple attacking positions. Guler's situation at Real Madrid has evolved significantly over the past year. While he struggled for consistent minutes under former boss Carlo Ancelotti, things have changed since Xabi Alonso took charge. The 20-year-old has featured 25 times this season, averaging around 65 minutes per appearance, underlining his growing importance in Madrid's setup. The Turkish international has also delivered in key moments. He has registered 3 goals and 7 assists across all competitions, operating mainly as a central or attacking midfielder. Guler is also comfortable playing off the right wing, a level of versatility that clearly appeals to Arteta and Arsenal's recruitment team. However, despite the reported interest, a January move looks extremely difficult. Real Madrid are unlikely to sanction the departure of a player who has become increasingly influential under Alonso, especially in the middle of a competitive campaign. Arsenal do have history with Real Madrid when it comes to loan deals. Both Martin Odegaard and Dani Ceballos arrived in North London on temporary moves, with Odegaard later joining permanently for just £30 million, a deal that has since proven to be outstanding value. That precedent may encourage Arsenal, but this situation feels different. Even if Madrid were open to a loan, Guler himself may hesitate. Breaking into Arsenal's starting 11 would be far from straightforward, with Odegaard and Bukayo Saka undisputed starters in the number 10 and right-wing roles when fit. In addition, Declan Rice is firmly established in the number 8 position, further limiting immediate opportunities for Guler to secure regular starts. From the player's perspective, staying at Madrid, where his role is growing, could be the safer option for his development. So Arda Guler would be an exciting and high-potential addition for Arsenal. The reality is that a January deal appears unlikely. Real Madrid's stance, competition for places at the Emirates, and the player's own ambitions all suggest this move may be one to watch in the future rather than this winter. In other news, Arsenal celebrate on the pitch. A major twist continues to unfold off it. Reports suggest Bournemouth star Antoine Semenyo would have chosen Arsenal as his first-choice destination if talks had begun this January. However, the winger now looks set to join Manchester City, who are prepared to activate his £65 million release clause. At 25, the Ghanaian forward has been one of the standout performers of the season, already hitting 8 Premier League goals. According to reports, Semenyo grew up a Gunners fan and would have gladly picked Arsenal over City, but financial timing and strategy prevented a deal. Arsenal's big summer spending means any real move likely wouldn't have come until 2026, while Semenyo is determined to leave now and compete immediately for major honours. Liverpool and Chelsea also showed interest, while Manchester United pushed strongly, but City appear ready to close the deal swiftly. Martinelli's support for Jesus highlights Arsenal's strong team spirit beyond transfers.